I got my little purple 3D glasses, and I'm ready to watch the show.
Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of a still yet to be named show with Doobie and Rebekah Moseley.
I think we have found our name.
The unnamed show?
The yet to be named show. I like that a lot.
So this show has evolved from our desire to continue to talk Disney stuff with people in general and with each other. Laughing Place was started as something that Doobie and I could do together, sharing our love of Disney.
And each other.
Yes. And and over the years it is very happily expanded well beyond what our four hands could take care of. And we also have become parents. So our own priorities shifted. And with this new show, we're hoping to once again have a place to share our love of Disney with everybody in a more personal way.
So I think our goal is pretty much to look through the past week or so and just talk about some of our favorite things. Mm-hmm. And so we're excited to get started here. We're going to kick off this week talking about some new trailers that are out. A lot of talk about our recent trip to Walt Disney World, certainly Disney Plus, and we're going to start it right here.
At the recent D23 Expo, Target and Disney Store announced a new shop-in-shop concept, coming initially to 25 stores and then rolling out to 40 by October of 2020. We had the opportunity to visit one of them here locally in San Jose recently, and I really was impressed and enjoyed it. What did you think?
I thought it was 750 square feet of Disney fun, including 100 items that I had only seen at the Disney Store before. It was the best part of my day, as I recall. Although it was right after Disney on Ice, so maybe it was the second best part of my Disney day, but it was pretty cool.
I think for me, what surprised me was up until we actually visited ourselves, I had thought of it as being kind of just a display area, similar to what I've seen previously with their Star Wars rollouts or their Frozen rollouts. But this has a center portion that had a screen that sometimes had interactive games that you could participate in, like Finding Nemo or Dory or
Coco
or Flounder. And then
that wasn't Coco?
Oh, and then there was Coco. And then what was really fun was they had the trailers for Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, and also Maleficent. So I enjoyed being able to see both of those, there in the store. It reminded me of those old days when you went to the Disney Store and it was kind of a way to, like a little mini pep rally, get excited for what was coming.
Yeah, so it's almost like a mini pep rally because everyone goes to Target anyway, every day for everything, and now you can even go there for your Disney fix.
And when we were talking to some Target officials, they said that we should expect, hopefully every 6 weeks or so, there to be a transition of some sort. So it's going to be a dynamic location.
And you might be a little bit disappointed, though, that Bullseye is prominently featured in there and not Pluto. So that is subject to change.
He's so cute, though, on the red sofas. And speaking of trailers, the Star Wars, The Rise of the Rise of Skywalker trailer debuted on Monday Night Football recently, and our own Mike C. offers his extensive Star Wars knowledge with a shot-for-shot analysis.
And so there's some really nice shots in there. The first one we have shown here is, I believe it's water. I don't know. There's something about intergalactic water that makes me very happy. And then we've got a shot of Rey looking very Rey-like. What do you think of that shot, Rebekah? I know you're a big Rey fan.
I really enjoyed the way that she was appearing in most of this trailer. There was an intensity and a drive that
I feel like
really
it's almost to the point where by the time this movie's over, Rey's going to be an adjective.
No,
like that girl is so Rey. Don't mess with her. And then the next one is, I don't know, it's like an ice planet or something. It's not Hoth, showing off my Star Wars knowledge, but it almost looks like the version of the Walt Disney logo they use for Frozen.
It really does. That's very funny.
Yeah, which is kind of, maybe they're in the same universe. I'm sure we'll see some YouTube theory videos about that. And then the last one is so cool, all the ships and everything. And tell me when you first saw that, did you immediately think Avengers Assemble?
Oh,
like you can see Hawkeye there. No, okay, maybe not Hawkeye. Sorry, I really picked the wrong one. You can see Iron Man and everyone
I
there.
understand what you're saying.
And they're just ready to take on the world. And then we'll go see this, and this will actually be like the first shot of the movie.
I loved the guys who were describing it as spaceship porn and labeling it like NSFW.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Jar Jar Binks can be seen in the cockpits of one of these ships, if I'm not
Don't
mistaken.
you feel that way? You feel like when you zoom in, it'll be...
Like college theses will be written about this shot. There's everything under the sun is there, and it's pretty cool.
It's amazing how many ships from varying periods in Star Wars history, like just what we've watched and what's evolved, the kind of that broad universe, are reflected within this one shot image.
And to show off my Star Wars knowledge, I'm looking at this shot right now. I can name one of them, and I believe that is the Millennium Falcon, if I'm not mistaken.
And what's fun is there are people way more knowledgeable than us who evaluate it and can tell you more about what point in the Falcon's history this image was taken, merely by the satellite dish, all that type of
And those
thing.
people, by the way, among them, Mike C. from laughingplace.com.
He's my go-to whenever I have a question, that's for sure.
And by the way, Mike C. did a similar shot-by-shot breakdown for the Mandalorian trailer that was just released to be seen exclusively on Disney+.
In addition to trips to the Target Disney store, Disney on Ice, and other Disney fun, we actually took a family trip to Walt Disney World.
And that's our family right there you're looking at.
And we're aboard one of how many rides did our son end up?
6.
6.
6 rides on Dinosaur.
Yeah, so he became quite a fan this trip. And when he becomes a fan of something, it is experienced many times. We can share stories of days spent riding Great Movie Ride in repetition or sitting in Lights, Motors, Action.
Among others.
Yeah.
For sure.
But this trip, we got to hit a lot of new things because Walt Disney World has been under construction.
Yeah.
And some of it's finally opening up.
There's a lot going on there. So I did a top 5 article, kind of the 5 things that really stood out as wonderful. Later on, I'm going to be doing the flip side of that, and construction's going to might be on that list.
It was amazing.
It's not that annoying. It's just so pervasive. It's like being in New York. But anyway.
It was only one park that the entrance area wasn't under construction. Just studios. Epcot, Magic Kingdom, and Animal Kingdom were all.
And studios just finished. And now, as we speak, I believe Epcot is now done as well.
Yes, Epcot had opened up a couple of days after we got home.
But we're here for the positive now. So down in the show notes, we have a link to Doobie's top 5 things from this trip to Disney World. So I'm going to leave you I'll just quickly say number 5 was the Nomad Lounge, where I did my one afternoon of work. Great place to have an office. I highly recommend it. Rent is really cheap.
The views are nice.
The food is great. And they actually have servers, which is unlike any office I've ever worked in. So it's pretty cool. And then
it really is lovely.
And number 4 was the minivan service, which we finally did for the first time. And I just know when I retire, I am going to be a minivan driver. That is the gig.
We used it to avoid the travel from... Okay, so our day was shaping up to where it was going to be Magic Kingdom and then Animal Kingdom in the evening because our nephew was getting his first haircut at Harmony Barbershop there on Main Street. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know about that, please look into it because it is a magical... They do a really great job with the kid. And then you get the mouse ears and a little certificate.
And if you get a special bonus, the person, the kid in the next chair will be having the worst day of his life, and you'll have this non-stop screaming background music.
I felt so bad for that mom.
I felt bad for the mom, bad for the kid, really bad for the stylist.
But our nephew handled his first haircut in style, and including the fact that he had a huge audience because aunts, uncles, grandparents, 2 sets of grandparents. I think there were 12 of us.
It was like haircut party of 40. I'm pretty sure that Harmony Barbershop can really shove them in when they need to.
So that was fun, but. Where was I going? Oh, we used the minivan because what we did was first we went to the haircut and then we spent some time at Magic Kingdom before going over to Animal Kingdom. And in order to avoid the park at Magic Kingdom, take a ferry or monorail, we thought, hey, let's treat ourselves, do something different. And we booked a minivan from Animal Kingdom over to the Magic Kingdom, knowing we would probably take a bus back later. Because the minivan is not bargain friendly.
It ain't. The only downside of the minivan is the $45 plus tip. to
Yeah.
go from, at least that day, to go from Animal Kingdom to Magic Kingdom. If it were free, that'd be such a no-brainer.
But it was it was wonderful. It was our driver was incredibly friendly. He had the music was themed to, he had picked us up from Animal Kingdom, and so it was lovely Animal Kingdom music. I'm sure they have, just like the buses, they change it around, I'm sure, to reflect your transit. It was air conditioning, and the vehicle we were in, we could each control our own temperature, which was great. And we had 5 in our... No,
yes.
Were we a party of 5 or a party of 4? I think we were a party of 4.
It was a party of 5 minus 1, as I recall.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And then they also had plenty of charger outlets, which was also great.
One thing they didn't have, which surprises me a little bit, and I think it's just standard, but I don't know. It's bottles of water. I'm a little surprised.
I'm wondering if that's kind of ask for it, or maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like I run a Disney website or anything to where I would know these things.
Well, but we also were dealing with it being park open. That may be something that as the day wears on, and
right.
you're dealing with your hotter long.
And I'm not complaining because it never occurred to me in there, hey, I'm thirsty. But just in hindsight, because it's done through the Lyft service, and I know really good Lyft and Uber drivers, they'll offer bottles of water to their customers, and so Disney probably is one of the better Lyft drivers, and so that's just what made me think of it. But at the time, it's not like I was thirsty or anything. And then
the thing that I noticed later in the day when we were back over in that transportation zone was that a family was entering the minivan. The minivan driver showed up, and they had a young child. And first thing he did was ask them about the car seat and did they need forward facing or rear facing. Yeah. And I just thought that was really awesome. That not only were they ready with the car seat, but they were ready to adapt it to the rear or forward depending on your need.
And they would put it in, and then Reedy Creek would come by and inspect it. Because that's my recollection of putting a car seat in the car.
Okay, speaking of regulations, the other thing that's really funny is because they are using the same zones as the buses, they have to travel 5 miles an hour once they enter that zone.
Right.
And so you're just tootling along, and then all of a sudden it's like, and the park is right there, and you're just creeping along at the slowest pace until you get to your spot. Thankfully, the spot wasn't that far away from the entrance of that area for Magic Kingdom, but I can imagine like some other zones, like Animal Kingdom, they have that whole loop that they have to travel, and I can imagine where seeing the entrance right there, and you're in the car, and then all of a sudden it slows down to that 5, it would just be like,
I want to go to the park. So anyway, this episode of the show brought to you by the Walt Disney World Minivan Service. But anyway, on to number 3 on my list was a new restaurant we tried in the Grand Destino Tower over the new tower of Coronado Springs called Toledo.
Or Toledo. I don't know. I think it's Toledo.
It's pronounced Toledo from everything I've seen would be silly, from everything I've heard.
Okay.
But it's spelled Toledo, so you Ohio people out there can lay claim to it if you want to. And if you look right now,
because it's Spain. It's representative of Spain. I believe if you go to that same city in Spain, I think they call it Toledo over there.
It's not named after the city in Ohio.
No, it is not named after the city in Ohio.
Live and learn. It has incredible views. I'm pretty sure from the top of it, as you're looking at this panoramic shot I took, you can see both Ohio and Spain from here. It is the best view of property I have ever seen, and I could just sit out there forever and look. And
we were very lucky. We were there in the transition from evening, because it opens it's a 5 o'clock to 10 p.m. location, roughly, and obviously hours can change and everything, but that's what it was when we were there. And we were there just shortly after it had opened, and so our dinner went over the sunset and we got to watch a beautiful harvest moon rise over the horizon, with what were we looking? Let's see. We would have been looking at Downtown Disney. We saw the balloon out the window that
Swan
we had
dolphin,
there.
all that. So.
And then behind us, if you go out on the patio, we could see behind us, and we could see Everest and Animal Kingdom. It was just gorgeous.
Did you hear that, Rebecca? I'm pretty sure someone said it's a restaurant. How's the food?
Oh, well, the food was amazing. Okay. It is. This restaurant is everything I wish California Grill would be.
Ouch.
In that California Grill, I love the location. I've never been a very big fan of the food. I found the food okay. but I haven't found the food, I don't know what the word is, but like memorable,
Edible?
I guess. No,
Oh.
it's good food. It's just not memorable food.
Okay.
So for me, this food is memorable. This food isn't like, oh, it reminds me of a nice restaurant in my neighborhood or my hometown. This place, it's transportive. And whereas the California Grill, not only that, but then I don't like open kitchen. It's just there's this clamor and there's cacophony, and it's like my fine dining experience is in the midst of Grand Central Station.
I like to know who's making my food. You never know who they're going to put back there. Open kitchen is the only way to guarantee that you're getting what you expect.
We could not be more different on this issue. So this location was beautiful in that the food was amazing, the environment was divine, the locations are gorgeous, but it didn't feel stuffy. I felt like the couple I saw who were there on a date night, dressed up, didn't look out of place, even though right few tables over was clearly the family of 4 who had come from the theme parks.
So I agree with almost everything you said. One major disagreement, I'm a vegetarian. The best vegetarian meal I've ever had was the last time we went to California Grill. It was beyond memorable. That said, the shot you're looking at right now is the, quote, seafood plate from Toledo. All that you're seeing there is plant-based, because plant-based is just the thing now at Walt Disney World, which could not make me happier. And so for the first time in my life, I had calamari, scallops, crab cakes. And
plant-based.
All plant-based and all very, very yummy. I did love the food, but not quite as good as California Grill.
My heirloom tomato salad rivaled one that I still have dreams of that I had at Napa Rose. And I couldn't have been happier because a hot day like Orlando has, the freshness of that salad was just unreal. And then I had a beef dish with a spicy green sauce is how I'll describe it. And it was really good. That nothing was overpowering. The flavors all married very well together, to where, you could tell I'm eating meat and there are spices. Sometimes a sauce can overpower. But going back to the plant-based, what's nice for me with you as a vegetarian is that sometimes I know you get frustrated that the vegetarian food equated with purely healthy food.
Not anymore. I can eat as horribly as I want to and still maintain my not only maintain my vegetarianism, not even having any cheese. I can throw 3,000 calories in my mouth in a half hour and not even have cheese. I could not be happier about this.
It is real. No, it's just really nice to have kind of a theme park-esque.
You know where else
feel.
Had an incredible plant-based meal? Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, it did.
We ate at Docking Bay 7.
Yes, it was.
And they had these meatballs there. By the way, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, number 2 on my list of wonderful things that we experienced at Disney World. We ate at Docking Bay 7, and their meatballs there were just really, really good.
I had an amazing I had an amazing pot roast there.
Wait, did you have the pot roast or the yip yap?
No, yip yap is something different. This was some sort of shank is how it was on the menu, but some sort of animal that nobody's heard of, but it's really just pot roast.
And this was by pure coincidence. The day we went to Galaxy's Edge was the day they changed the menus from Star Wars themed to English
yes.
with the Star Wars theme in smaller print. And
now they've gone hybrid.
Which I'm not even sure what we're eating anymore. But I'm plant-based, so I don't really need to worry too much. But
it was we ordered, the cast member was delightful, the Batuan.
Yes, cast member, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, exactly.
How was your refresher experience?
Yeah, he was a lot of fun. He was explaining to us that locals work there, and because we were asking where he was from, and he was explaining that he was Batuan, and we had a good time. But
as I mentioned, Galaxy's Edge was number 2 on my list. First time getting to really experience it, and it's pretty impressive. You can see right here Rebekah piloting the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, that was so cool.
Kicking booty and taking names. Now, I specifically mentioned in the article that Millennium Falcon is not on my top 5 list and might appear elsewhere.
He actually got off the ride and called it a bad ride. I don't even know what he is thinking.
But aside from that, including the queue and the whole experience, Galaxy's Edge is incredible. The food was good. The milk is not good at all.
I didn't enjoy either one particularly.
Nor did anyone in our party. The blue milk, the green milk, mix them together. It's just
we tried.
Not good.
We weren't fans of
but
either
just
one.
the details. What I love about it is the way that it really seems like an inhabited location. They don't have shows. They don't have meet and greets. They just have inhabitants going about their business. That worked for me so well.
While we were in queue for Falcon, there were maintenance workers just kind of evaluating and looking at the Falcon. Like, it was, to me, it reminded me of the visual if you're in your, like, you're waiting for your car to get the tires changed or something. It's like that. Just people coming and going and checking out the vehicle and running diagnostics.
And then Starbucks showed up and did like a patrol.
No, wrong franchise.
it
was Vi.
Vi showed up and did like a patrol. Elsewhere, Ray was doing some mechanical work on some land speeders or I don't know. I don't understand this stuff. And stormtroopers everywhere. Chewbacca just walking around the town, has a seat with some people. He's a really cool guy. It feels
It was very
hard to believe, but they made it feel like you went to Batuu.
It was amazing to no longer feel like you were in Orlando.
It was so effective that my son somehow got the Force while we were there.
Discovered his power.
Yeah, his what is it, midichlorian?
Yes. Apparently it's much higher than
his
than we
midichlorian
ever
count
knew.
is very high. Almost up there with little Anakin Skywalker, little Annie.
Yeah. I'll say that most of the people in our party weren't particularly fans of it as a whole, in that they were disappointed with the Falcon attraction. They feel Star Tours is a better experience. We were there with a party of 10, and most of them would pick Star Tours over Falcon. So actually what ended up happening was, after we waited, I want to say it was about 55 minutes it was under an hour for Falcon. Do you recall?
It's right at an hour.
They all, in essence, they were done. We had lunch, we walked around, we rode Falcon. They were done. They left. I got sucked into the datapad experience and spent another hour exploring Batuu and using my phone /datapad and helping the Resistance. And I got a few little ranking badges, and I changed some panels to help the Resistance.
So the people of Batuu are thankful to my wife for what she did for them during this experience.
What was really funny to me was how caught up I got in it, because I was, walking around changing panels, just having a nice time. And I really don't like entertainment that's in my face. I prefer entertainment stay over there. I like my personal space. And all of a sudden I heard stormtroopers and I totally freaked out, thinking they were going to come find me because I was doing this. So I shut off my phone. I went to the bathroom. I totally hid. It was really
I
funny.
believe you went to the refresher, please.
Oh, sorry. Yes, true. Okay.
But
so go ahead.
Far and away, the number one thing I experienced on this trip was everyone's new favorite Disney ride, the Disney Skyliner. Just looking at this visual makes me. It is the best Disney experience other than Deck 4 of a Disney cruise ship. It's just so awesome. It's peaceful. It's quiet. It's the beautiful views. It's cool, despite what some people were fearing. It's just perfect. I love it, and it's my favorite thing to do at Disney World now is just to get on a Skyliner and go.
I will say I was surprised by just how transformative leaving a park is with the Skyliner. Instead of the rush and then the get on a vehicle, not sure if you're going to have a seat. And if you do have a seat, chances are you're going to be staring at somebody else's midsection because they're standing, which is what you find at close of park at Magic Kingdom or, at any bus park. Just being able to the fireworks were over at Epcot, so it's closed, and we got on a Skyliner, and it was just lovely because we were just seated, and we were looking at other people who were seated. I don't know why, but just that
it's
simple,
a big difference.
Yeah, it just makes it feel so much more elegant. Just that, and it's so quiet, which blew me away. I did not expect it to feel that serene.
Yeah, it's not like. It's not scary quiet for whatever reason. It's just you just feel peaceful.
Yeah.
You just feel peaceful gliding over Disney World in absolute silence, except for the occasional chime with a corny thing. No BGM, which, interesting decision, but it works really, really well.
I will say that for me, the wrapped Skyliners at night gave me kind of a little bit of a seasickness feel to where I tried to look out the side door towards the horizon. I wonder if it would be easier if I could have looked just in the direction we were moving or directly opposite the direction we were moving rather than out a side window, which is the only ones that aren't wrapped. So that was less enjoyable than unwrapped. But it wasn't miserable. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I had that kind of feeling like you have when you get off a boat for a while after we got off. But we left out twice.
I had that same feeling when I get off the Disney cruise. I immediately want to get back on. I understand.
And we got to see fireworks.
Several times,
which were
actually.
Really, really nice.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I know there are people that fear the Skyliner for various reasons, and I don't exactly love heights myself, but if you can give it a shot, give it a shot. I know people have had their minds change just by experiencing it. It's something special. Thank you, Disney.
If you want to give it a test run, my suggestion is Studios to the transition station at Caribbean Beach, because that's a shorter line comparative to the other ones, and it doesn't go over water, which I know for some people the water rescue element is intimidating. So that's my thing, because then when you exit there, you can just get right back on and go back to and if you thought it was absolutely horrible, miserable, and you never want to do it again, Caribbean Beach has bus services, and there's a internal bus station right there at the station that you can then take and transfer to some other way to some other park. So you're not kind of, trapped having to continue on it if you didn't enjoy it.
That is a great suggestion, Rebecca. Thank you, Doobie.
So if, like us, you got busy and didn't realize the fall season had begun, the fall season has begun. And ABC brought us Stumptown and Emergence. Laughing Place ran a piece earlier in the year announcing what the new stuff was, but we finally caught up recently. I'm loving Emergence. And Stumptown is the one that really took me by surprise. I was excited about Emergence based on the ads, but I was expecting Stumptown to be really gritty. And from its launch, that opening sequence with Colby Smulders,
Robin Sparkles.
Yeah, I think of her as Maria,
Let's go
right? It is
to
Maria Hill.
the mall.
I know she's in Marvel. Yeah. Just that opening sequence where she's in a vehicle trying to escape an abduction. And you've got the music kind of reminiscent for me of the Southern Nights sequence of Guardians of the Galaxy, that type of thing where the music isn't what you would anticipate. It isn't the normal.
It's irreverent.
Yeah, it isn't yes, exactly. Irreverent is a good word for it. It's delightful.
I like it too. It strikes the right tone. It's funny and slightly heavy, but always the heaviness is always offset. Slightly feel good, but definitely not too feel good. It's got some surprises, like to watch the first episode, you think one key character, from us who have no experience with the comic book it's based on, you think one key character is a certain way, and then by the third episode you realize you could not be more wrong about who this person, what this person's history is, which is just, it's really interesting to have something like that. This is the first network show that has held up for me through this many episodes, and probably maybe since Lost or something like that. I mean, Emergence, which Rebecca mentioned, I love the pilot, but, as it goes on, it just becomes yet another show.
Right.
Whereas Stumptown is really holding up, and I'm very excited for it. So 4 episodes in, they've just picked it up for the full season. And let's see where this can go. Plus, educational. I now know Stumptown stands for Portland, Oregon.
Very, very, very good. Nicely done. And then we've also had the sophomore season of the Rookie debut. And
which is kind of funny when you put it that way.
It smacked you in the face with Disney promotional materials in those early episodes.
They weren't subtle about it. Nathan Fillion was doing a scene in a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge shirt. Not some generic Star Wars shirt. No. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge shirt.
Docking Bay 5, I think, is the t-shirt that it was.
And in another segment, a character is talking about working overtime so they can get enough money for that Disney World vacation.
And Mark Cuban makes a cameo appearance. And it's not Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks owner. That's not the framing device. No. He is having to call the police because somebody is interrupting his meal to pitch him Shark Tank-like material. And so he is needing police assistance.
Yeah, these aren't subtle work into the plot. Here's an opportunity. No, I'm...
The Nathan Fillion shirt was, that night was promoted as kind of like
all the worst.
Of the,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
So they knew they were being heavy-handed, and they just kind of leaned into it.
They definitely leaned into it.
Lots of fun.
Sure.
Now, on the flip side, you have what I find to be the delightful marketing that is the Fox introduction to the Disney family and the world of Disney Plus.
Welcome to the family. So there have been a number of Disney Plus commercials that come out, but I think the one that everyone loves is the one we're about to show you right now, featuring our favorite family that never grows old.
I'm not going to do it. You're not going to make me do it. I don't care how much they paid.
You put on that nose and ears or I'll take off yours. Now everybody smile.
So did you notice what Maggie was doing on the far right?
She was reflecting that ice planet that you were talking about.
She was not Hoth.
From
I'm pretty sure.
Skywalker trailer.
I'm pretty sure she wasn't Hoth. I'm pretty sure she was
the Titanic iceberg.
Yes, which is not a Disney movie, I don't think.
I don't think it is yet.
But she was the logo from the Walt Disney Company logo they used when they have Frozen.
No, that would be the Nat Geo reference. Not the Frozen logo.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
Okay. It was pretty cool, though.
No, it's fun the way that they have made sure to assuage as best they can the concerns that becoming part of the Mickey Mouse umbrella will somehow change who the Simpsons are.
Now they need to assuage if bringing the Simpsons to Disney is going to change what Disney is.
That's honestly where my fear is. I always like the delineation of the irreverent.
Wait, I think we have breaking news. What? Married with Children coming to Disney Plus.
No, this is
Cops coming to Disney Plus.
No. I am legitimately interested to see as Disney Plus evolves how much in control you will be of the way entertainment is appearing to you. That's one of my challenges with some of the streaming services, is that because we're a family, I will get suggested stuff that I have absolutely no interest in, and just the preview is beyond what I would be interested in. And so I'll be fascinated to see kind of how they craft their interface at Disney Plus. So perhaps the people who maybe Simpsons is beyond their taste, they won't necessarily have to filter through it.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I'm so excited for Disney Plus.
So they've announced, the whole library at this point, 304 titles. Mm-hmm. At the time of announcement, which is a fun way to announce it. They just did a tweet, I believe, for every single one.
They did so
fun.
Many tweets.
But it's actually 305 now. They just added Avatar to the list.
Which, seeing the footage of Avatar, I haven't seen the actual film. Wow, that is very much like Flight of Passage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's based on Flight of Passage, actually. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Since I hadn't seen it, I didn't realize just quite how much it was being in the movie.
Yeah, I feel like the movie needs to be paying for the privilege of using Flight of Passage as their basis for their film. So we did an article on Laughing Place where we went out and got the IMDb, Metacritic, and Rotten Tomatoes rating for every one of those 304 library titles and ranked them from bottom to top. So we invite you to find that. It's linked down in the show notes. Some surprises. Empire Strikes Back, number 1. Mm-hmm. The top-ranked Disney movie.
I should have said, I know.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I should have said
Let's do this again. Empire Strikes Back, number 1. I love that.
I know.
Okay. The top-ranked Disney movie, Newsies on Broadway.
Really?
Who knew? This is by IMDb rankings, which are reader rankings, which means it gets stuffed the ballot box. Not in the top were titles like Meet the Deedles, Jonas Brothers 3D Concert Experience.
That's because they're overlooking the performance by the trash can.
Oh, man, the trash can won an Oscar for that, if I'm not mistaken. The only movie Rebecca...
Such a deep reference.
The only movie Rebecca is in, Country Bears, was in the bottom 10.
I'm sorry, I did not help it better in the ratings.
So, but yeah, Meet the Deedles. I've never seen that. We really should do a project where we just watch every one of those from bottom to top. You should see the look I'm getting right now.
Really?
Maybe not.
No, because we've got so much new content to watch that is amazing. Lady and the Tramp, The World According to Jeff Goldblum, the Imagineering series. These are what I'm really, really looking forward to. Reviews I know some reviews by Alex are going to be appearing on Laughing Place, so that'll be in the show notes for you guys to read too.
I'm really wondering about that Imagineering series. I wonder if it's going to be any good.
Well, with what little I got to see bits, and I think, okay, this is one of those shows where I was, when I was seeing it, I was thinking, its runtime, let's say its runtime is 15 minutes, which it's definitely not, but its runtime is 15 minutes. I think it'll be like 45 for a Disney fan, because the images are so rich that you're going to pause and look at them. And, you know, it's like if they're scanning over a room where John Hench is working on something, not only are you looking at John Hench working on something, but you're like, what's over John Hench's shoulder? What's on the wall? What's in the, you know, it's just...
What's in his pocket?
It was just so... It was a bit overwhelming in a way, because there was just so much content. It's like a picture, you know, 1,000 words. This is a video, so it's like a gazillion words.
Is that the ratio that
yes.
picture to video
yes.
goes?
It is. So I'm really excited about it. I didn't think I would be, because when you've been doing the Disney reporting thing like we've been doing now for 20 plus years, sometimes you kind of wonder, you know,
is there anything left I haven't seen yet?
or just how many different ways can I hear the same story and it still hold my interest?
I got at least one more.
And no, definitely, it was really incredible, and I'm very, very excited to have it be something that people can discuss, and then the historians like Jim Hill and Brian, and Didier can come in with what they know as well. Bill Cotter, you know, they can bringing in the little elements that they know as well. And so it's just going to be really, you know, amazing to have this fountain of information available to kind of stir up new conversations.
Very exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to Mandalorian. The trailer for that looks awesome, as we briefly discussed earlier. Looking forward to Noelle.
Yes.
Not looking forward to Lady and the Tramp, but I'm not dreading
really?
it. I mean, it's a dog movie. Come on.
It's cute.
It's no Old Yeller.
It's cute.
Very
cute.
But mostly just looking forward for
I'm wondering
Disney.
if it'll have a sequel. I've got to be honest. I'm wondering if it'll have a sequel.
Scamp's Adventure?
People seem to be people seem to be reacting so positively to it. And
maybe Old Yeller will be the sequel.
Oh no!
Is it a prequel
terrible.
for Old Yeller? Is
that's terrible. That's terrible. You're awful. Of course, you're awful. But yeah, it'll be.
It's hard to believe. So if we're on schedule when we do our next one of these, it will be the day before Disney Plus launches, which is...
Or we might just postpone it.
Or postpone
let it be part of the launch. We'll see.
But, I mean, we've been looking forward to this for so long, and the
It's
day is just about here. It is actually really exciting. It's been nice talking about other things, because I know come November 12th, we're only going to talk about Disney Plus.
Because there's so much other stuff that's going to happen. You're going to have the Disney holidays. You know, for me, I think of Disney Parks Christmas starts November 11th. I don't know why. I know it starts way before that now.
Veterans Day?
Yeah, no, but way before that now. But for whatever reason in my head, I think maybe because a lot of times that would be around the time that the gingerbread house at Grand Floridian would open.
Shingles.
And so, and Jingle Jungle Parade would come to Animal Kingdom. I'm dating myself. And, wow. And so it's just, I feel like, yeah, it's like there's Veterans Day and then there's Disney Parks Christmas. It's kind of how my seasons roll.
Okay, as we record this, tonight was the first Frozen Holiday Wish lighting up the Cinderella Castle.
Cool.
So it's here, and it's going to be overshadowed because Disney Plus is... No, just kidding.
It won't be.
So anyway, we're very glad you joined us for this inaugural episode of our new show, Our Favorite Things.
Yep.
And we hope to be back next week. Let us know what you think, please, in the comments or via email. And
click subscribe, you know, all that good stuff.
Definitely do that stuff. Silly me. Ring the bell.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means, but I hear other YouTubers say it. So subscribe and ring the bell.
And let us know if you have any particular topics or things you'd like us to share with you, because this is just a chance for Doobie and I to highlight what's caught our eye over the course of the week.
Rekindle our relationship. Bring back the flame that was there 22 plus years ago when we first met on Main Street, USA, Disneyland. Thank you and goodbye.